everyone, and welcome to today's Tech Tuesday on the Attendee App, your conference co-pilot. So today's presenters will be myself, Chad Blodgett. I'm the Business Development Manager here at Engineerica Systems. And then we're also going to be having Garrett Effers, who is our Software Support Representative. If this is your first Tech Tuesday with us, we do this every third Tuesday of the month at 1 Eastern. And usually the way we do it is we do some conference tracker announcements. We do our tech talk from the conference tracker experts. And at the very end, we're going to have a live Q&A session. Now I'm going to go ahead and introduce Garrett Effers, our software support representative, who's going to get us started today.
Absolutely, and thank you for that wonderful introduction as always, Chad. So today, like you said, we're going to be going over the Attendee App, your conference co-pilot, right? So an Attendee App is an amazing benefit to your event in several different ways. Of course, it gives you enhanced engagement with your attendees. It also gives them networking opportunities. It gives them a more personalized experience at your event and makes it feel like, they're more than just a number. They're valued there at your event. As well, you have some different sponsorship opportunities that come with the Attendee App that you can take advantage of. And of course, the main reason is for that valuable feedback, right? We always want to hear how we're doing, how we can improve, and what our attendees thought of our event as a whole. So to start us off, we're just going to touch on engagement here. So attendee engagement is crazy important for any of your events. And this starts before your event even kicks off. It goes on during your event and then even afterwards. So one of the things that you have through the Attendee app that's available to you is going to be an event agenda. Here at Conference Tracker, we call it a schedule at a glance, and you can see that screenshot there on the screen. Just a general time schedule of what's going on during your event, your concurrent sessions, when the meals are going to be, forums, things like this. You also have the ability for self sign-in with the Attendee app. So giving the attendees the power to be in charge of their own attendance and responsible for their own sign-ins and sign-outs. And it can really help eliminate those choke points at your session doors, as people come in and out of your ballrooms. Of course, you also have speaker profiles. So it's great to be able to see the presenter's profile and their image and kind of put a face to a name. Because of course, the most attractive part of your sessions, at least from the attendee point of view, beyond collecting CEUs or PDHs, is going to be your keynotes. Those big speaker names that are really going to be drawing in the crowds to your event. As well, we have interactive maps. So, kind of give the attendees an idea of where they're going. And if you have a map of your exhibit floor, you can show them where all their different booths are and how everything's going to be laid out. And it just makes them have more informed decisions about who they're seeing and where they're going. As well, you have push notifications. So any sort of changes, alerts, reminders, any information that you could possibly get out to your attendees, that's just going to help them stay informed and stay in the know as they go through your event and interact with your different sessions and exhibitors. And of course, the gamification. Everybody likes to be on a leaderboard, right? So as they engage with your event, they can score points based on their interactions and have themselves ranked on a leaderboard, which is really nice for some of our more competitive people that may be attending your events. So of course, we're going to speak on networking opportunities, right? This is another main reason that your attendees are coming to your event, is to network and talk to other exhibitors, other attendees, and organizers themselves. So to do this, we have several different options available. We have social walls throughout your entire event. So there's one specifically for the conference as a whole, as well as specific attendee and presenter social walls. So if your attendees have questions that may have come up during their session and they didn't get a chance to get it answered due to time constraints or anything like that, they can post those questions directly on the presenter social wall for everyone to see, not only the question, but also however the presenter answers. But of course, if it's a more private question, if they're trying to get some specific information or advice on a specific situation, there's also private messaging available with the Attendee app to not only attendees, but also to presenters and exhibitors. So if they had specific questions of good times to meet with an exhibitor or what they're offering. Private messaging is a great way for them to collect that information. And of course, like I said, a personalized experience is going to be very important to your attendees, making them feel like more than just a number at your event. And it's going to allow them to add profile pictures and customize their own profile. So just as much as they can put a face to a name on the presenter profiles, other attendees and exhibitors can do the same. They can see this person's picture and their headshot and maybe their bio, title, company, things of this nature. As well, your attendees have the ability to bookmark sessions and kind of create their own itinerary, especially with your bigger events. Your sessions list can get miles long on a daily basis. So giving them the ability to bookmark and then view just those bookmark sessions allows them to see just the sessions that they were interested in, or maybe they're on the fence about attending one or two sessions, so they want to give it a little time, think it over, and maybe look more into the actual session description and things like that. Beyond sessions, they can also bookmark exhibitors and sponsors. So if they see an exhibitor in the list there that they really, really want to make sure that they visit and talk to and shake hands, they can bookmark these people so that they have quick access to them later on. And of course, going in with a personalized experience and engagement, we want attendees to take photos and document their experience there at the event and post those photos on the social wall for all to see. As well, your presenters are going to be hopefully uploading session files or PDFs, presentations, things like this, and the Attendee app gives them the ability to download those files to save or just to view during the session. And as well, because people are forgetful, sometimes we forget a pen, we forget paper. The Attendee app also gives them the availability to take notes live during those sessions, just so that they always have a way to take down that one key piece of information, that big takeaway from that session that really drew them to the session in the first place. Now, let's move on to the sponsorship opportunities within the Attendee app and how you can really increase your ROI through the utilization of the Attendee app. So of course, we have the ability for a attendee to see all of your exhibitors, and that's every company that's going to be coming to your event, but also just specifically those who sponsored your event. Maybe they sponsored sessions or a meal or a swag bag item. The attendees are able to view not only those specific companies, but also the sponsor level that they chose, gold, platinum. If you're creating a custom label for that sponsorship, like I said, they sponsored an item in the swag bag or a meal, you can say, lunch sponsor, things of this. And of course, with these lists come the virtual exhibit hall. So if your exhibitors, if your sponsors post any sort of product demos, videos, if they have any sort of information that they want to show as a part of their profile, they can do that, and it's all viewable through the virtual exhibit hall. Now, one of the cool things for exhibitors and for attendees is that attendees can choose to schedule appointments. So if they want to talk to them at a specific time, or make sure that there's a spot for them directly after a session so that they have a guaranteed time where they can speak to someone, that is an available feature within the Attendee app. As well, you have ad options, and this is where we really start kind of getting into increasing your ROI with conference attendee, and that's going to be the ability to sell ads, banner ads, survey ads, different things like this that are viewable through the Attendee app. You can put these as either a separate opportunity for your exhibitors, include them in with a certain level of sponsorship at your event. And you also have social wall posts as well. So if they want to make a specific post to either a call to action or just to advertise a product or a video, that's also an option for them. Just different ways that you can put additional ROI and engagement into the Attendee app to make it a better experience for not only the conference as a whole, but your specific attendees and exhibitors, to encourage them to post things to their profile and maybe come back again next year. Now, with that, with the Attendee app, one of the most important things, to me at least, is feedback. We need to know where we went well, where we went wrong, ways that we can improve. And the only way to do that is by asking questions, right? So it's important that we have surveys and feedback and evaluations set up within our event, so that, for example, the conference survey, we can ask them, oh, what did you like? What didn't you like? What would you like to see more of? And this goes even further with specific sessions. So if you have session evaluations and you want to ask them to evaluate their presenter, how was the actual presentation itself? Was the knowledge gained interesting to you? Would you invite this presenter back next year? All great questions that you can ask through the Attendee app, because at the end of the day, the worst thing they can do is not fill it out. Any feedback you get through the Attendee app is going to be useful in some way. Now, with these surveys, you may want to get specific with your attendees. Ask a specific group or demographic of people certain questions that you may not want to ask others. For example, medical conferences may have specific lists of questions that they want to ask of doctors and PAs versus nurses or students. So this is a great way to separate those groups and have specific feedback questions for specific people. And on the note of feedback, one of the great things that I love about the Attendee app is it increases your engagement with the presenters. So your presenters have the option to come in and set up session polls, just quick little one-question polls that they can launch during their session to get live feedback from their attendees and opinions, and then maybe delve and dive deeper into those opinions as the session progresses. But one of the best parts to me about the Attendee app is that you can personalize it to your event. And we offer a personalized custom app branding package so that you can change things like your app logo. Maybe you want it to be specific to your organization, or change the app name to reflect the title of your event. We can even change the color scheme. So if you want it to match the colors that your organization is known for, as you can see in the screenshot there in the very bottom, we've got the Attendee app in purple, just because that was the color that one of our other products, we have AccuClass, is branded by purple. So by changing the color scheme, it gives it a little bit more of a personal feel to your event, and just increases the experience of your attendees. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pass things on over to Chad, and he's gonna actually take us through a walkthrough of the Attendee app and all these different engagement features.
All right, great. Thank you, Garrett, again for the introduction. So I'm going to go through the app with you, and basically hit on those points: the enhanced engagement, networking opportunities, personalized experience, sponsorship opportunities, and then the valuable feedback. So when your attendee first gets into the app, this is kind of what it would look like, unless you have the branding option. Obviously, be your own color. Your own logo is going to go at the top, regardless if you have the branding option. But something else that's customizable for everyone are these buttons, these widgets. You can determine which are on the home page and which would not be on the home page and might be on within the menu. So I'm going to kind of go over that with you as well. So I decided I wanted sessions, maps, sponsors, people, presenters, exhibitors, and so forth. I wanted my attendees to see this directly on their homepage, but there is a menu option where they can go and see all the other options, any of the widgets, buttons that you didn't have right on the homepage. But the first thing I want to go over under the enhanced engagement is really one of the main things of any attendee app would be the sessions or the event agenda. So I'm going to click on sessions here, and depending on which date, I'm just going to go to a random date in my demo account here. So the attendees can actually choose which date, and they'll be able to see the sessions that are happening on that day, which include obviously a start time, end time, session name. If I click on one, I'm able to see the description. But from here, I can see who the presenter is and which room the session is happening in, if it's in person or virtual, and I can also see if it's part of a session track. Now you may notice on the right side of each session, there's the ability to bookmark a session, which this kind of takes us into the personalization of the experience of the attendee. But if I click on any session here, if there was a description, I'd be able to see it here in addition to the other information that you saw on the front part. So I can see again the title, start date and time, end date time, the room, whether it's on site, maybe offer a virtual session or a hybrid session. And then I can see which session track it's a part of, the description, and obviously the presenter. And even if I click on the presenter, I'll be able to see the presenter info. I'm going to click out of the session here. Now, if you have a lot of sessions, there are ways for your attendees to filter out the sessions that they want to see, right? So I could say, I want to see all sessions in just a big old list. Or maybe I want to see sessions by track or by presenter or by room. Or maybe during registration, I registered to a session or sessions, and I want to see which sessions I'm registered to. There's even the happening now, and then obviously the bookmarked. If I bookmarked a session and created my own itinerary, I'm going to be able to see the ones that I bookmarked and plan to go to. Otherwise, again, I can go to filter and say I want to see by presenter and only when Will was a presenter of a session and see every session that Will is presenting. There's also a search option. You can even sync this to your own calendar from here. So getting out of the sessions, we're going to get into maps next. So I'm going to click on maps, and you can add as many maps as you like. So I created it like an exhibit hall map. I created a breakout room map. So for example, my exhibit hall map is kind of a weird shape, but if I click on it, it's very long, but I can actually click on any of the markings here, and I can see who the exhibitor is. And even if I click on it, then it will take me to that exhibitor's profile. Or if it were a session like one of these here, I can zoom in, I can click on the session room. So this is the .NET room, so the breakout room. And if I click on the name of the session, it actually will take me to the details of that session. So it's an interactive map, and you can add as many maps as you like. But usually it's an exhibit hall map, maybe a breakout rooms map, so attendees can view a map, click on the different marks and see it, okay, which exhibitor is this at booth 100, or which room is this and what sessions are happening in that room currently. So we'll get back out here. So again, add as many maps as you like there. The next one would be the speaker profile. So I'm just going to go to presenters here. It literally just going to list all of your presenters, and the attendees can even bookmark presenters that they want to go see. But if I say, okay, I want to see all the sessions by Gal, I click on Gal, it will tell me every session that is being presented by Gal, and you could even click on the individual session and again see the session information for that particular session. Other things that attendees can do, and this is going to get more into some of the networking options, but every presenter from here, not only can I see their info, but I can also click on social wall, and they may have this is basically like a public communication tool. So you see Adam Sandler here wrote hello to Gal right on her wall. So what this is, again, every attendee will be able to see it because this is a public social wall specifically for that presenter. So these could be comments, these can be questions that are going to be directed directly to that presenter. But there is the option to send private messages as well. So as an attendee, I could privately message a presenter to ask a question or send them, say thank you or whatever it might be, but it's going to be private and only seen between those two individuals. So after going through the speaker profiles, we're going to go and get into push notifications. Now I actually have I have this set up so I can kind of show you what the push notifications look like. Just give me 1 second as I set this up. But to give you an idea of what the pushes look like, so I'm just working this in the background now, but I'm going to send a new push notification, and these push notifications can be scheduled or they can be done in real time. So you're about to see my son here, or they can be done in real time. So I'm going to just make a little message over here really quick. I'm going to say the audience is going to be everyone. Here, actually, let me just show you what I'm doing. So I went to push notifications under attendees. I made a title, a message, and then I can say my audience is everyone or a specific attendee that I want to send a push notification to, attendees that are registered to a specific session, or attendees that are in an attendee group. You may have grouped like your members, your non-members, VIP status, whatever it might be. You can send it to only those group of attendees. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to say, I'm going to make the delivery now. Now, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm sharing my screen because as soon as I do this, it's going to pop up here. So we'll say everyone now. So it may take a second or two, but as soon as it sends that push notification, we're going to see it right on the screen here. And again, I think it could take up to 30 seconds or so when I was doing my testing for this Tech Tuesday. So as I'm going through, you'll probably see it pop up here in just a second. And once they do receive those push notifications, they're actually going to be under announcements. So here's the Tech Tuesday hello that we just received. So again, it's going to be a push that they're going to see on their phone, but also there's going to be a section called announcements where all those push notifications are going to reside after they've been sent. So here's all my hellos that I typically send during demonstrations. So the next thing I want to go over would be the networking opportunities. So probably one of the most important networking opportunities would be the social wall. So this is we've been on our homepage the whole time so far, but I'm going to click over in the bottom right, the social wall. And this is, again, a place where attendees can post pictures, they can ask questions, and they can get engaged with one another. This is also where you as an administrator can post anything you want. And you could even make that post pinned at the top so it always stays on top. Other options, especially for maybe your exhibitors, your sponsors, maybe you included this in their sponsorship, you could even make a post on their behalf and even pin it at the top. So as an admin, you can make your own posts, you can pin them at the top, but again, this is really an engagement tool for everyone. Allows attendees to engage with other attendees, or attendees to engage with admins or organizers also to engage with their own attendees. And they simply can scroll down. I have a lot of these pictures I took down, but again, text, images, they can like posts as well. So that would be your overall conference social wall. Now remember, there is an overall conference social wall, but each attendee presenter has their own social wall as well. So maybe I'm signed in, I'm the attendee Adam, I'm in the attendee app, and I want to view other attendees. Okay, so here's other attendees. I've even bookmarked which attendees that I've connected with, maybe. But let's say like Alyssa, I want to see Alyssa's information. Now Alyssa can hide this information. So as the attendee, you can hide your email and your contact info. But as Adam, I can come in here, and I've already said hello to Alyssa here, but I can actually write a message directly to Alyssa, and this is again a public message. It's on Alyssa's public social wall, but I could even private message from an attendee to another attendee as well. Okay. Let's go back to our home page here. Now, being able to personalize the experience for the attendee, I know is very important. That's why I encourage everyone to all of our attendees to upload a photo of themselves. So through the app, this is something that attendees will be able to do. They can upload their own photo. They also can change certain information that would be in their profile. Like if I needed to change my title or my contact information, such as my address or something like that, they'd be able to come in here and change this info. They also, let me go back to here, they also could actually pull up their own QR code here as well. So if an attendee lost their badge or forgot it, and you're doing any type of scanning for attendance to sessions, now I can pull this up and you can scan it directly off my phone and I can go to sessions without my badge. Okay. I kind of already talked about the bookmarked sessions, but it is a way for attendees to personalize their experience, right? So if I go and I filter and I say I want to see all my bookmarked sessions in order, in chronological order, I can actually see the sessions that I have bookmarked that I plan to go to, and I've created my own itinerary right through the app. The other sections that Garrett had actually mentioned would be the My Files and the Notes section. So if I click on Menu, so any module that you don't put on the home screen will be available here in the menu. So as I scroll down, I'm going to go to one being My Files. So any photo that I upload to the social wall is going to be here in my files. So I have a my file section. As an organizer, you actually have a file section as well of all images and documents that have been uploaded into your social wall by attendees or anyone. So you have your own also. Another thing that Garrett had mentioned would be the notes section. So yes, if you don't have something to take notes and you're in a session, you can actually use the app to add notes. You know, really within this section, you can add as many notes as you'd like to, and you can see I made one just for my engagement notes for a session that I had gone to. And now we're getting to the sponsorship opportunities. So one that I already mentioned is, and we're going to get into more of the ad options, but there's a lot of ad space that's available in the Attendee app. And as the organizer, you could have made like a social wall post for a sponsor or for an exhibitor. There's also banner ads, pop-up ads. There's a lot of ad options within the Attendee app. So you can brand it as your own conference app, but also getting your exposure for some of your exhibitors or sponsors. But next I want to get into the sponsorship and exhibitor list. So I put it right on my homepage. So I'm just going to click on sponsors, and you can actually create the different sponsorship types. So I have gold, platinum, silver. So again, create as many categories as you like, and you determine which exhibitors have each of those categories. So for example, I'm going to click on the platinum sponsor, which is Conference Tracker at booth 100, and it's going to take me to the exhibitor, that exhibitor's homepage. Now within their homepage, attendees can do things such as schedule appointments with that exhibitor. They can request info. What this has now done is it's sent that exhibitor my, as Adam Sandler, my contact info so that they can reach out to me to connect. Okay, so essentially getting a lead just by the attendee going to the profile and requesting info. Maybe that attendee couldn't get down to the exhibit hall or wasn't able to make it to that booth, but they really still wanted to connect. They could again schedule an appointment or simply request info. Or maybe they just want to browse, so I can see their logo, company name, booth, sponsorship type. I can even see their contact info, which might be their website, an email, phone number. That exhibitor also or sponsor can also upload a video if they wanted to that I can play here, any type of document, flyer, brochure, and I can even see who the representatives are from that particular company. And I can connect directly with one of them if I wanted to. At the very bottom, there's the session information. So if you have exhibitor sponsor sessions, they'll be able to come in here and see when their sponsor exhibitor sessions are, so that they can attend and they can again click on them and see the info. So exhibitors are very similar, except the sponsorship option shows only sponsors. The exhibitor shows both exhibitors and sponsors. Now, while I'm in here, again, I can see all of our exhibitors in alphabetical order. I can even bookmark which ones I want to connect with while I'm at the event, maybe. And same thing, if I click on one, I'm going to that same page. Let me click back out of here. So again, I said there are various ad options. There's going to be things like there's a banner ad that can show up here in the menu. You can have a pop-up ad and you can schedule that pop-up ad to come up whenever you like. And then you could even, again, have made like a social wall post specifically for a certain sponsor if you like. So the next thing would be our valuable feedback. So whether it is go back to our home screen, whether it is a conference survey, session survey, or a session evaluation maybe, or a live poll, anytime these are being published, they're being pushed to the attendees. So they're going to get a push notification that they have a survey that they now can complete. Now, your attendees may not always complete them as soon as they receive them, right? So here in your menu, there's a section for live polls, surveys, and session evaluations. Now, session evals is linked to obviously the specific session that they attended. So if they attend a session and there's a session evaluation for it, they're going to get a push notification that there's a session eval to complete, and they're going to be able to either complete it right then and there, or like I'm doing here, I can click on a session eval that I haven't yet complete, and your session evals are 5-star ratings. I'm going to go ahead and complete the session eval. And now that one was completed, and as an organizer, you're now going to see how the attendees answered that session evaluation for the session that they specifically attended. Now the other ones, again, you have a conference survey, but you also can do things like a survey per session. You could do a survey per attendee group. So you have a bunch of options of who you want to receive which surveys. If I click on surveys, I have one that I just created for today. It's called our Tech Talk survey, which I made it a 5-star, and I also made it a open text. So I just write some type of gibberish here, but I can submit. So again, it could be as many questions as you want to, and your options are like 5-star rating, thumbs up, thumbs down, open text, multiple choice, multiple answer. So you have a bunch of options when it comes to the survey options. And then Garrett had mentioned the live poll. So usually, yes, these are presenters that want to poll their attendees to ask really any type of question. And these polls can be something that you schedule, you send out in real time. They're still going to get a push notification to complete the poll, although you can tell the attendees, or you can determine how much later they can complete that poll, so they don't have to answer it right then and there, but you can see the results live. So the presenter does have the ability, after the attendee completes the poll, to see the results live as they're coming in. So they could even show it on their screen and show how the attendees are answering whatever poll they want. So this not only goes for valuable feedback, but also goes towards your towards your engagement of your attendees as well. Now, just kind of give you an idea what the polls look like. If I click on it, I just made it a thumbs up, thumbs down. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And again, it's just a one question, but your options there were a thumbs up, thumbs down, multiple choice, multiple answer. So you still have those options there, but the polls are supposed to be quick. So it is one question per poll. And that really does it for showing off the Attendee app. I'm actually going to, we're going to go back over to Garrett to close us out.
Beautiful. Such a great walkthrough. So of course, really quickly, I want to touch on some of the upcoming updates that are going to be coming up to Conference Tracker to kind of keep our clients in the know, right? So we have a bunch of different new check-in and registration kiosk modes that will be coming around to the blue Organizer Attendee app. These include check-in, staff check-in, walk-in registration, session attendance, really just helping make your transition, your on-site reg, your attendance a little bit more of a smoother, possibly greener process. If we can display our QR code for our session on a tablet, we don't have to waste paper printing out QR codes and taping them on doors anymore. As well, we have presenter access to session evaluations that's going to be coming soon, so that they can log into the system and see their own evaluations for their sessions specifically and how they were rated. As well as seamless Stripe integration. So of course, it's 2024, so as things change and we step into a new era, Stripe has changed the way they do things, so we're going to change how we do things, and we're going to make this a little easier for you. So instead of looking for your different API keys, it'll just be a nice little quick login to your account, and Conference Tracker will take care of the rest for you. As well, we have some Leads app improvements coming to our exhibitors to increase their engagement with attendees and hopefully speed up their process to get more leads quicker and have a better experience at your event. And of course, like I said, it's 2024, we're stepping into the new tech era. So originally when QR codes came out, they were kind of locked to a certain size just because that's what devices needed to properly scan them. Well, nowadays tech has gotten so advanced that we're going to make it so you guys can resize these QR codes, make them bigger, smaller, so you have more space on your badges. And with badges, we have a new badge size coming specifically for a thermal Seiko printer that has seemed to be popular with a couple other organizers. So we're going to make that available to you within the system as well. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our question portion, our Q&A portion here. So if you have any questions, feel free, drop them there in chat, and I'll read them out. We'll get some answers for you. I'll just give everybody a couple seconds, let you type away.
Yeah, we actually already have one question, and they're asking, how long does it take to do the app branding? So really the app branding, what we do with it, again, Garrett kind of went over what is changed within the app, but we do have to submit that to both Apple and Android. Android's a pretty quick turnaround. Apple can take up to 2 weeks to accept a new app. So realistically, you're looking at anywhere between 3 weeks and a month, maybe 5 weeks to complete the app branding. So it's actually pretty quick. So if you're thinking about doing it and you already have, and your event is coming up, we can definitely discuss that with you.
Absolutely. And we do have another question. Can attendees still answer surveys and questionnaires after the event is over? And that's an amazing question. And the answer is yes. Of course, attendees can come in after your event and fill out any of those questionnaires, any of those attendee feedback sections. But of course, I always try to encourage people, even after your event is over, that doesn't mean that your time in the system is done. So feel free to send another push notification a couple days after your event and remind them, hey, don't forget to come in, fill out your session evals, fill out your surveys, let us know how we did. And this is, like I said, this is just going to help your feedback and help next year's event as you make improvements and changes.
Yeah, and you can actually determine how long the attendee has to complete those surveys and evaluations. So you can give them, 30 days, 2 days, 5 hours. Really, it's totally up to you how long you want to give them to access and complete those. And with our new post-expiration mode option, it's not really that new anymore, but within the last year or so, your attendees will be able to go into the Attendee app at any time and see whether it's continuing their conversations, looking at their old conversations that they had through the social wall or through private messaging. So they'll still have access to the app and to that data. And as long as the session survey or the poll, whatever it is active, they'll be able to complete it really at any time.
Absolutely. Attendee feedback is crazy important. We do have another question here. Is there any limit to the ads that can be set up?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I can answer that. So
yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, you actually, as an organizer, you can decide which exhibitors get which ad options. So if you want to offer a pop-up ad, everyone will have a chance to be in the banner ad. Or maybe it's a social wall post. You get to determine which exhibitor gets which option, and you can determine how many times they can use that option. So for example, if you want them to have a pop-up ad, you can say, well, they can use it twice or only once. Obviously, you want to set those limitations on your exhibitors and sponsors just in case they're not annoying your attendees with a million pop-up ads. So you can limit them. Also, something that's pretty important are those ad options you can include in the sponsorship. So when you're building out your sponsorship deck, you can decide maybe your platinum sponsor gets 2 pop-up ads during the event, or maybe there's an ad option that you want to utilize, but you want exhibitors to have to purchase it or sponsors to have to purchase it for an additional fee. So it is a way to increase your ROI or increase the value of your sponsorships by adding it in the sponsorship deck for your big sponsors, or by making an additional cost, and they can purchase it if they want that option.
I think that's all the questions we got. I want to thank everybody for coming, of course. We do these Tech Tuesdays every month, third Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. Eastern. I want to thank everybody for coming. I hope you gained some good knowledge here today. The Attendee app is an amazing tool to increase engagement and networking at your event. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at support, or if you'd like to schedule a demo or talk about your next event and how the Attendee app can be utilized there, Chad would love to see an email from you, and we can always continue that conversation.
Yep, and just remember, after today's webinar, you're going to be forwarded on to a survey. If you could please fill out the survey if you haven't before. We're actually looking for new ideas on next Tech Tuesdays. So if you have some ideas on what you'd like us to go over, we'd love to hear from you. It's in that survey, or you can just email us directly. Also, we are looking for new user spotlights as well. So if you'd like to present and talk about how you use Conference Tracker at your event, promote your event during this Tech Tuesday, please let us know. That also is in that survey. And we're also going to be sending you the recording of today's Tech Tuesday. So once you receive that, you'll be able to watch it again, or again, send it to anyone who wasn't able to join today. So I want to thank you all for joining us, and we hope to hear from you soon, and we hope to see you during the next Tech Tuesday.
Have a great month, everybody.